This is long and overdue. Here's my review for the Arcade1up NBA Jam Deluxe. Starting off with the marquee, just take a look at this. Dare I say, this is one of Arcade1up's best marquees I've ever seen. You get some nice grill speaker covers. Great picture, as usual, that you can expect. And of course, no bad viewing angles on that BOE monitor. Something to expect with every special edition Arcade1up from the vault. That's including NBA Jam, Ms. Pac-Man, Atari 50, and Galaga, is you're going to get the light up buttons along with being able to turn them on or off. It's all preference if you want to have them on or off, but at least it gives you that ability, and that's something unique if you do decide to get one of the 4 limited editions. I also mentioned in the unboxing video that this was different. I did have the OG NBA Jam. It did not have this blue logo instructions here. It did have instructions, but this was different. This Deluxe does come with that control filler, something that could be purchased from a third-party seller, but the Deluxe does come this way, and the NBA Jam session just has such a 90s strong vibe to it. Something you would see definitely in the 90s. The classic NBA Jam altitude with an attitude. Not only are you getting 2 coin doors, they all light up. They'll power right on as soon as you turn it on with that chrome Arcade1up logo. Going forward, let's hope we see this in every Arcade1up cabinet, because NFL Blitz had it. They just didn't light up. And with every Deluxe, you will get those screw cap covers, and they do give you 2 different colors, so it matches. Luckily, there's nothing in the NBA Jam logo except, of course, the seam line where you connect the top and the bottom base, but you won't see those bullet holes on the side of your cabinet. I'll go over the measurements in a second, but the control deck does have that slant. I mean, there's reasons I went with this versus the Shaq Jam, which I'll get into, but taking a look at this, it's actually perfect with the NFL Blitz, along with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So any Deluxe cabinet, or your Yoga Flame, your Shinku Hadouken, are all going to be that slanted deck, and they're all going to be exactly the same height. Now the first NBA Jam we got, call it the shark fin kind of, featured the original NBA Jam. Then Shaq Jam comes out. Different art. I mean, we all know about the Shaquille O'Neal logos, but they did keep the original logo here for the NBA Jam marquee. The Deluxe is Tournament Edition, so it is the NBA Jam TE. It does have that theme. The only thing really I'm missing is a Tournament Edition arcade topper. I mean, otherwise, you can just see with the lights, the light up coin doors, the slanted deck, an excellent marquee. It's almost perfect. And that control filler. I mean, this is something that you would have to pay extra for, and it's nice that they put it on here. I mean, it matches the Blitz. And when I say this is one of the best marquees yet, this is a Joe Sabos marquee. This didn't come with the NFL Blitz. The only difference you're going to get through going through a third-party seller, getting a marquee, is you're going to see that Midway logo right here. The NFL players, the NFL license, you don't see Midway. There's a couple of things that will get left out. So if you do want like accurate arcade, then you're gonna have to go through someone like Joe Sabos. But otherwise, I mean, it's a great marquee. Again, just comparing it to the quality of the NFL Blitz from Sabos, and looking at the Marvel vs. Capcom 2, people have said, it's kind of grainy. It looks fine to me if you're standing far back, but if you get really close, it does have that graininess to it. You're not seeing that with the NBA Jam. I am disappointed about the height. On the website, this came in at 63 inches high. It's sitting at 61. NFL Blitz sitting at that 61 range too, so when I saw that it was 63, I thought, hey, this is going to be bigger. Shaq Jam being about 67 inches tall, this won't be that much off, but no, it's the same height as NFL Blitz. The control deck starts off just under 38 inches, but remember, because it's on an angle, You can see Blitz right here. It's going to work its way up. So it does get higher as you get to the controller. So always good that it's higher. Like say it started at 36. The fact that it's almost 38, it's a pretty comfortable height. You've seen 1/4 player, you've seen them all. They are just under 32 inches wide. Your base is always going to be that true 18 and 7/8, 18 and 3/4, just shy of 19. Pretty much your typical deluxe width. And it comes out around 20 inches long, but factoring the control deck, it actually sticks out about 25 1/4. Well, if you've picked up any arcades since 2021, 2022, 2023, they're all going to be the same height pretty much. And that control deck's going to be exactly the same height. Even though those have risers, they've managed to make this exactly the same height. I'm disappointed that it's not 63 because that's what it was stated on their website. And it did have a deciding factor. Being that much taller, you know, it's intriguing. We all want bigger cabinets. You know, that's one strike that if you want to hire, you know, a bigger cabinet, a taller cabinet, you go with Shaq Jam. Along with the 19-inch monitor. You're going to get the 19-inch monitor with the XL. Even though it's a TN monitor, it's still 19 inches. I knew up front this was going to be 17. But the thing about Shaq Jam is it doesn't have the grill covers for your speakers. That's an extra add-on that the Deluxe has. Shaq Jam didn't. It resembles what you're seeing here with Blitz. We're going to take a look at Shaq Jam in just a second. But I'm just disappointed because I expected it to kind of come up here. So now, seeing this light switch, I mean, this is just where it's sitting at my home. That's why I brought up the NBA Jam topper from Sabos. It's going to hide that. I'm going to have to go with it now because I kind of wanted this to stand out, and it's not really standing out because I thought it'd be higher. Just some comparisons here with Shaq Jam is you're not going to get those grill covers on Shaq Jam like you're seeing with the NBA Jam Deluxe and other XLs, which is kind of baffling to me. When you look at Blitz, it matches that. So you do have that cutout in the MDF board. You just don't have those grill covers here. And just like NFL Blitz, like you see here, and the NBA Jam Deluxe, this is right under 38 inches. So the control deck is the same height. It's just, it doesn't have that angle. You can see how NFL Blitz goes up. That's the same way with the Deluxe. So this is going to sit flat. You can see that the Shaq Jam is 67 inches high. So it's a lot higher than the Deluxe. You can look at NFL Blitz right here. That's 61. So 6 inches higher you're getting with the XL. And it's your standard width of just under 32 inches wide. But Shaq Jam does take up the same amount of room. Your Deluxe, it does come out 25 inches. So there's a lot of similarities. The only difference is the 19-inch screen and the height, guys. I mean, the marquee's huge. And just stepping back, this is basically the difference. The Deluxe compared to the XL. I mean, look at Shaq Jam, NFL Blitz, it's the exact same size. And of course, the 19-inch monitor. I mean, this is huge, getting this size compared to the 17-inch. Those are your differences with Shaq Jam. But otherwise, you're getting the same games. And the featured game is NBA Jam Tournament Edition. And it's a good timing. This is the marquee game. It's what's on the marquee, and it's what's playing. You also get NBA Jam Hang Time, which is probably my favorite game out of the three. It's so much fast-paced. Kind of have a speculation, I mean, just because it's playing, that what if they did an XL? I'm going to steer you guys the wrong way, but what if they did an XL NBA Jam Hang Time? Because we saw the OG like we went over before. You're seeing Tournament Edition. We haven't seen Hang Time. You know, Showtime is such a stretch, but it is kind of realistic if you think about it, that we could see an NBA Jam Hang Time from Arcade1up. Now, a question did come up after the unboxing video. I'm going to go specifically to the Milwaukee Bucks because it was brought up, is Glenn Robinson on this game? You see Vin Baker, you see Sean Respert. They don't have Glenn Robinson on here. So unfortunately, And I don't understand this. You know, there's players on here that you're not going to get. You'd think that, I mean, this is nostalgia, that they'd want to be on here. I mean, it's not Arcade1up's fault. It's the players who decided to pass on here. It's a shame. And that's the same for NBA Jam also. I mean, players that aren't on the Countercade, aren't on the OG, Shaq Jam, Partycade, aren't going to be on here either. So going to probably a fan favorite of many is Reggie Miller, going right to the Pacers and right off. Here's That Lost Shrimp. You're seeing two of him, so there's not an option to pick Reggie Miller. Same with Blue Edwards. You're going to get two Blue Edwards, and if I can make it on time before the clock stops here, go into Dallas, you're seeing Harper. So unfortunately, you are missing those players that weren't on the original NBA Jam games. But you do get Shaq. You do get online play, just like most NBA Jams. When I say most, the Countercade, the Partycades, unfortunately don't have the online. But you can see, look at everybody in the lobby here. It's too bad that they don't have, it's very similar to Blitz, that you don't have designated rooms. So you want to play with some of your friends, like it's pretty much open. Like you're going to have the option of, hey, I'm going to play with, you know, let's join him, and somebody else could enter the game. And you can actually have a 4-player game online, but just look at all the available games in NBA Jam, NBA Tournament Edition, and Hang Time. I mean, all the lobbies here, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, sorry, all the lobbies are full here. I'd like to see that from Midway Games, having the option of having a code, like, so nobody can just jump in. But if you were playing online with someone, you just wanted to play them, and a bunch of other people jump in, and then all of a sudden, you got a 4-player game going. The interesting thing about the buttons, and I did point this out with the Galaga and the Pac-Man XL, these are different buttons. They're not these. This is what you're going to get with the OG, with the Countercade, with the Partycade. They're all going to be, you know, call them the mushy buttons. Whether these are mushy or not, you can hear the difference here. They don't sink in. They don't have that. And you know, you can always swap out the buttons, but they're a little step up. I would say the buttons are better. The sticks are nice and tight. Absolutely no issue with any of these sticks. It's a good control deck. You know, the only difference with Blitz, besides, you know, those old buttons, is, you know, you don't hear that. If any of you have any of the new Deluxe, the Ms. Pac-Man, Class 81, or Galaga, even the Pac-Man XL, you know about how the monitor's recessed, and it doesn't take much to get a lot of noise out of here. But because this isn't recessed in there, I mean, going all the way up, we've been at 7 or 8 this entire time, going all the way to 15, it's gonna be loud. Welcome to NBA Jam! I'm not going to go up to sound 15, but they do get loud, and just to show you that, you can, you know, they are going to put off some good noise. This has been playing the whole time we've been doing the video. I don't notice anything weird with any of the sounds. We've been in all 3 of the games. It sounds good. Everything operates, navigates, just as I'm familiar with any of the NBA Jams I've played. Now, I'm always the Suns when I do play. It's kind of a spoiler alert. But for the most part here, it plays just like any other NBA Jam I played. I mean, the controls are pretty good. Exit a game, you just hit the live button and go down, leave game. Now, if you're playing with online, you can see there's 3 other players here, because again, we could get a 4-player game going. Just hit the shoot, the block, and you can exit back to the main menu and select a different game or find somebody online to play. The height on this cabinet, for me being 5'9", it's perfect. Like we said, it's 38 inches from the ground, So if you have Blitz, if you have any of the newer cabinets with that slanted deck, it's the same height. I did keep my stool from my first NBA Jam, so I could have the option to sit on there or stand, but for me it's perfect. There's nothing I have to do except that topper. But if you're tall, you might have to look into a riser booster. Now, a lot of you have NBA Jam already. You don't want to spend, why would I get the same 3 games? I think it's the form factor. I think, for me, it was just getting something. Unfortunately, the first NBA Jam I had was an open box, and I was just never happy with it. The fact that the lights light up here on the coin door, and you get coin doors, the lights on the control deck light up. You have the option to turn them on or off. You get a BOE, the grill covers, an excellent marquee, and that wrap. These are all the reasons why I decided to go with this. Everyone who picked this up told me they love it. They think it's the best NBA Jam yet. I still have this, warm spot for Shaq. We just saw Shaq. I love the height. I love the fact that marquee is huge. It's like 2 of these. It's just, it doesn't have that slanted deck. And there's other things that you have to do. The coin door, I think I could live with the graphics on the side, but you're just getting so much more. And if the prices are pretty much the same, I paid $5.99 for this. Shaq Jam's been sitting at $5.99. Some have picked it up for $5.21, and they did have that sale for $3.99. But I think there's a lot more value right now for the Deluxe just because of everything we see here. It is a limited edition. Does that mean there's not too many of them? They could sell out. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But I am happy I went with this. Just kind of jumping ahead because of the topper going here. I think right here is a perfect spot to put that certificate of authenticity. A great looking cabinet. There's not too many flaws about this. My biggest bone to pick was the fact that it wasn't as high as it's stated on their site. Usually something's stated at a certain height and it's actually higher. This is unfortunately shorter than what I saw on any site that was selling the NBA Jam Deluxe. But I think the topper will pretty much fix that for me. It's just when you're deciding something. When we saw Shaq Jam, having that 19-inch monitor, it's going to be higher up. So when you're standing here playing, it's going to be up here. You're going to have more in front of you when you're playing. And that's the advantage of going XL versus Deluxe. I don't know what it is about NBA Jam, but I absolutely love this game. It's one of my favorite sports games. NFL Blitz is too, but I just have so much nostalgia for actual arcade NBA Jam. I played more Blitz on something like PlayStation, N64. I played so much NBA Jam. Actually, the first time I played Hang Time was on an arcade. Same with NBA Jam, the same with Tournament Edition. We all played them on Super Nintendos, on Sega Genesis in the 90s. But to have something like this at home, it's unbelievable. And that's any of them. If you go with Shaq Jam, you go with the OG, having any of that, it's just so nostalgic. If there's anything I missed, please let me know. I'll answer anything I can. We're going to see a lot more of this, I promise you. We're going to see Saturday night online games with NBA Jam, as much NBA Jam as we can get, maybe twice a week down the road, but for sure, 9 out of 10 Saturdays, we're doing a game Saturday nights, and you're going to see a lot of this guy. I want to thank everybody for watching. I'll see you guys next time.